Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new episode of Random Review Squad. Today, I'll be telling you some things about Prism Plus. Not all bad, not all good, but it's things that are necessary to be said about Prism Plus and the monitors that you buy from them. I'm your host Thiru, and this is Random Review Squad. Initially, I was planning to do this video a bit later, but then I realized today is 10:10, and a bit later it's going to be 11:11, and then 12:12. So this is the period of time whereby Prism Plus is gonna, kind of sell out all the time, and people are gonna buy a lot of their monitors. Okay, let me just put out a disclaimer there. First of all, this is not a sponsored video. Unlike my previous Prism Plus video, so there's so-called no holes. No bars holding me back. Second thing is, this is solely based on my experiences and things that I found out and yet to find out. 3, this is, for those who are planning to buy a monitor, want to buy Prism Plus, or looking at Prism Plus as one of the options. 4, and fourth one, and lastly, this is not a video to stop you from buying Prism Plus, but to alert you about certain things. Alright? So let's just start off very quickly. Okay, it's like a very quick review of certain things that Prism Plus has, or from what I've heard. Okay, so their website. Why their website? Because from the 2 monitors that I've reviewed and some of the other monitors that I've seen, their website is not accurate. I'm putting it out there, their website is not accurate, because if you take a look carefully, there are certain specs, like at the top of the web page is one specific spec, and then when you go down, it's a completely different spec. So it's like the numbers don't add up, they don't tally. When you talk to their promoter or their marketer or whoever, they tell you a different number, and then you kind of get confused. Okay, so you cannot trust their website, all right, because it is not backing up what their product is supposed to be. Another, what really led me to this video was one thing that I saw on the website, or previously saw on the website. Okay, actually 2 things in fact. The first thing was, in my previous video, I said sRGB 120%, but actually I had 3 values. I had 120% on one half of the website page, I had 125% on another portion of the website page, and then when I was talking to one of their representatives, they told me 130% sRGB color gamut. So that's one of the specs, right? So that made me lose a bit of trust, because you can't gauge, or you can't review a product properly without knowing the exact spec. And it was then later clarified with me that the color gamut was actually 120%. Color gamut is when color gamut is basically the vibrancy of your monitor, like how much colors it can display based on an Adobe sRGB scale. Yeah, and then a second thing that led me to this video from based on the website, I think it's the website. This is very important for gamers, especially response time. Okay, so response time on a monitor basically is how fast the monitor is able to display its pixels, or display the image rendered from the computer, and change, in fact. So there's 2 different values. Difference between GTG and MPRT. GTG represents how long it takes for a pixel to change between 2 colors. MPRT represents how long a pixel is continuously visible for. MPRT response affects motion blur more than GTG response. Okay, so this is the point. MPRT response affects motion blur more than GTG response. Even though GTG response time has become faster, 1 millisecond. Okay, remember this number, 1 millisecond. MPRT has not gotten faster because MPRT is limited by refresh cycle visibility duration and by frame time. MPRT causes motion blur, causes your ghosting effect, causes your trailing. So now here's the issue. When I had one of my friends come forward and tell me that, hey, Thiru, I watched your video. This is the worst feeling ever. When they watch your video, not when they watch the video, but when they watch the video and then come back with a certain feedback. So he said, I watched the video, but then you said there's no ghosting or trailing, but then when I actually watched the video and when I use the monitor myself, because he bought it before my video came out, he actually sees a lot of ghosting. Ghosting effect, basically you see a trail of the mouse and during games and all that. To be honest, I feel like it's a very, I want to apologize for not being able to fully figure out or find out about this response time thing. So I just had to so-called assume, because I was kind of running out of time and all that, I had to assume that the 1 millisecond response time was correct and it didn't give any ghosting effect. But it does. Okay, to a trained eye, as you can see, I'm not a very trained eye. To a trained eye, you can actually see the ghosting effect and the trailing effect. So now so here's the thing. When I checked out the response time using one of the online response time checking tools, it actually gave me something way far off from their 1 millisecond response time on their monitors, particularly the X240. It was about, I think, 6 milliseconds at 144 Hz, and then it increased to 9 and to about, I think, 12 or 15, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, so basically 6.4 millisecond response time at 144 Hz, 7.6 millisecond at 120 Hz, and 9.2 milliseconds at 100 Hz. And of course, at 60 Hz, it's 15.3 milliseconds. So that's the response time checking tool. It told me that this is the response time. No 1 millisecond at all. Is too far away from what they said. Okay, so here's the thing. Why I deem it to be the website. Okay, because on the website it says 1 millisecond MPRT. But this tool checks MPRT and it's not 1 millisecond. It's actually 6.4 and so on, so forth. Which is way off from what they claim. I have a feeling, okay, I give Prism the benefit of the doubt, whereby they didn't write it as GTG instead. Okay, actually the 1 millisecond response time is GTG and not MPRT, but then they put in MPRT. I don't know if they have some tools that actually check the response time MPRT wise and say that, hey, this is a 1 millisecond response time monitor. Now, for gamers, this is a big thing. Ghosting and trailing. Sorry, I'm checking the time because I'm supposed to do this in an hour. Ghosting and trailing is important to a gamer because it affects your gameplay a little bit. You see, like trailing and your mouse is trailing and all that. But to an untrained eye, someone who doesn't play games as much, someone who's using the monitor more for productivity, someone who's doing work on their monitor, someone who's watching videos on their monitor, this is not really an issue. That's why I said you can still buy a Prism Plus monitor, but you have to consider, the whole such issues basically. Now, the problem here is, right, it is being marketed as a gaming monitor, right? But it's got certain issues, right? Even though it's whacked so much specs inside 144 Hz, it's got certain monitors. Okay, so now specifically I'm talking about the X240 and some of the other monitors as well. It's got 144 Hz or 165, right? It's got sRGB 120% to 130%, color gamut. It's got HDR10. It's got all these big specs, but some do not seem to be there, possibly because the website says the wrong things, okay? Because there may be a miscomm between their marketing team and their product team or engineering team or whatever. So yeah, so basically those who are buying Prism Plus, please take a look at the specs, okay, first of all, with a pinch of salt. Okay, usually I ask people to take a look at specs and then kind of decide, but their specs cannot be trusted as much because you have to check on reviews. Okay, you have to watch reviews to find out whether it is good or not, whether it is true or not. Here's the problem. Sponsored reviews like what I did previously, I'm going to tell you out straight, you may not be able to trust them, okay? Because actually, in fact, I faced some problems with the monitor itself. I posted it in the video, as in I put it in the video, but they asked me to remove it. So there's certain things that I cannot tell you because it's a sponsored video, but this isn't sponsored, so I'm telling you certain things. So yeah, this is one thing to consider before you actually look at or purchase a Prism Plus monitor, because today is 10/10 and everyone is going to be purchasing monitors. What I'm saying is be cautious, right? Read the reviews. Don't trust the reviews on the site. Do not trust reviews on. I mean, this is basic knowledge. Anytime you buy a product, don't trust the site reviews, because the site is obviously going to put their best reviews out there, and they're always going to put all our reviews are 5-star. Okay, it's a company thing. It's not their fault. It's things that they do to improve their SEO, improve their marketing, standard stuff. Now, I'm not telling you to not buy a Prism Plus monitor. Okay, don't get me wrong. I'm not telling you to not buy a Prism Plus monitor. They have some good monitors. In fact, I am using a Prism Plus monitor, but I don't mind certain issues. Okay, I don't mind them. If you are a pro gamer and you want to get a very good monitor, Prism Plus may not be the option for you. Okay, because they have issues with their build quality. Okay, their build quality actually affects the screen, which is a problem. Sometimes they have dead pixels. We all know that when we take the risk when we buy it. Their menu is not as functional. Their support is not as good, because there were issues when my friend actually approached Prism Plus about this issue. They kind of ghosted him. They didn't get back to him. They didn't do anything, to reply him, or even solve the problem, or maybe even change the monitor for him. They didn't do anything with that. I am currently talking with someone, but that hasn't panned out yet. So let's wait for. I'll be waiting for that. Maybe I'll probably release a video that's more investigated or more informed later on. All right. I am thankful that Prism Plus made the monitor market more accessible to people, making it cheaper. We don't have to die from the hands of expensive monitors from Dell and LG and all that. But there are monitor brands out there that actually rival Prism Plus, like Super Solid. You can take a look at that. Xiaomi. The panels are actually the same. All these panels are the same. The same as Prism Plus, the same Super Solid panels, the same Xiaomi monitor panels are all the same panels. Why? I know this because the panels, when I tested out the Xiaomi monitor, I reviewed the Xiaomi monitor, reviewed my Prism monitor, they have the exact same specs, okay? They have the exact same response time. They look the same, the colors are the same, all right? So you know that these panels are the same, okay? So yeah, there are other alternatives. Some are cheaper, some have much better some have much better build quality, some have, more functionality, some have other features that you may want. So check out everything you have. Okay, so I've dropped, I guess, 3 names. Basically, you want to look at Prism Plus, Super Solid, Xiaomi. Don't be afraid to buy Xiaomi products, please. You can actually LG has some budget ones as well. Samsung also has some budget ones. So you can go and check out these brands, because some of them have better support, have less dead pixels now and then. Yeah, so basically, the main issue here that I'm addressing in this video is don't take what you see from the website exactly, right? That is not, it's not true to certain points, okay? Certain time, like the response time and sometimes the color gamut. I don't know what else might come out in the future, but it is, yeah, I think there's an issue they need to sort out. Prism Plus, they need to iron out some edges. I hope they do that soon, because people are dropping $500-600 on these monitors, and they cannot afford to have monitors that are subpar to what they claim it to be. That's the thing. If it's subpar, it's okay. I mean, I pay cheap money for it. But if subpar to what they claim it to be, they say that you're receiving gold, but then you just get something that's gold plated. Then what's the point, right? I hope this video makes you aware of what's going on. It's not to boycott. I say again, it's not to boycott Prism Plus or anything. They're a great company. I'm very thankful for them. In fact, I'm using their monitor. So yeah, I just want to say that I think generally any product that you buy, you have to go and check out reviews, go and check out these kind of things. And sometimes, yeah, like this response time thing, even I didn't know. The color gamut thing, until last minute before I released the video, then only I found out. So these kind of things, like as I learn and as I find out, I will tell you guys as well. Maybe I'll contact some other companies as well and see if we can have more reviews on monitors, because that's the in thing right now. So if you have any questions, please do contact me. My Instagram is in the description, and you can actually drop me a DM. Twitter as well, same thing. If you guys like this content, please leave a like and smash that subscribe button. If you got any comments about Prism Plus or any other monitors or any experiences you've had, leave your comments down in the comment section below. I'm your host Thiru, and until next time, this is Random Review Squad.